Hey guys, what's up? Roshi is here. This is a deck that was redeemed by Needles Kane on behalf of Big Gummy B. He went ahead and tossed down some fat channel points so that I would play this deck and tune it and make it happen. The only tips I was given or advice or the only request that was given was I had to play Archmagister's Prophecy. So I decided to go down the route of playing with Katras and Severins so that I can use Archmagister's Prophecy to power up my whole team, and then Severin makes it free. To capitalize that, I built a kind of nice shell around it, and it's a pretty fun list. We'll just go ahead and dive into what's going on here card by card, but that's the general idea of the list. So Devotee of Sands, having Shift is very huge here. We are trying to do some pretty spicy things, and they require us to have a good deal of power. Being able to shift this and protect it, or potentially in some more annoying, aggressive matchups, be a nice 1-3 blocker that just gets in the way. This card's pretty solid, and it earns its slot, ramping us and protecting us. Courtier is another 0-3. This card is also able to block any 2-1s or whatever, but we have a ton of relics in here. We are generating quite a bit. And this is going to give us a lot of power from the top of our deck, which is great because not only are you going to get that power, but you're going to get it out of the top of your deck, so you're less likely to draw like non-answers. Aurelian Merchant, another way to ramp and access our time market. In our case, we are playing From Below, kill a relic, super cheap, efficient for killing Sling. Var's Choice, kind of a catch-all. If you know you're playing against the Talir Combo list, this is often enough to win a game. If you're playing against Iago Combo, you can just win the game with this. And if you don't know what they're doing, you can just take a peek. And whatever their best thing on the board is, you can also just yeet it back to their hand. So very efficient card in that regard, especially in this style of list. Where maybe we're not playing as many removal spells as other lists do, so having something that just catches everything is very helpful. Nash helps against flyers, a lot of Horu decks, and Kira-based decks are oftentimes spamming a ton of Valkyries, and Nash is one of the best ways to counter that. On our side, we might accidentally Nash away a Mesmerized Moth, but that's really not that big of a deal. Compared to just getting rid of their 6/6s and their 4/3s and all of that. Talir is an alternate win con. It's also one of the easiest ways to set up an Archmagister's Prophecy kill. So we are able to fire off a pretty nice Talir combo using Last Chance or Time Etchings. The combo works that we play our Talir, it gives our time units Destiny, we play Lost Chance, which lets us draw a unit from our Void. At that point, we're going to want to pick one of our time-colored merchants. It'll have Destiny, so it'll, instead of drawing it and like just having it in our hand, it'll put it directly into play, which lets us grab Kairos, which we then draw, and since it has Destiny, it just goes directly into play, fires off its draw 6, everything you draw has Destiny, and at that point, we should be able to fill our entire board. And where that is key is, like I said, we're playing Archmagister's Prophecy. Now, at the point of after the combo, we're not done yet, unfortunately. Unless you somehow manage to kill them with the combo, but we're not actually that... Our units aren't actually that huge compared to some other Talir combo decks. They have a lot of synergy and cheap cost, or draws cards, or make relics, or gain us life. So from that point, hopefully we've got a Severin or two in play, and we're just going to start machine gunning these prophecies, machine gunning these moths, pumping our team, trying to get all of our cards to different powers, different toughnesses. It takes a while, but if you can get into a board stall, you can pull it off. And we actually were able to do it. We won it. We were able to pull off the combo on the ranked ladder. Super exciting. And we were able to get some wins even without pulling off the full Archmagister's Prophecy combo. It ended up just being a solid card, being able to gain us some life and buff our guys. While this deck was fun to play, I will give you I wouldn't go and spend a ton of shiftstone to craft this. This deck is more for fun and more of an experiment to see what we can do with Prophecy. I am able to get some wins with it, and I think I had like a 50% win rate. but it's not going to be the craziest thing for climbing the ladder. But if you've got a Shadow daily, or a Time daily, or even a Primal daily, this could potentially be a way to knock that out in a fun manner. Other than that, we have Tokus for shutting down Kira lists and turning off any sort of killer shenanigans people might be doing against us. The Conning Lumen to draw extra cards. And then we are playing Send an Agent. It's a good way to kill World Pyres, other scary relics, and hits most units in the game, so pretty solid on that regard. And then Curtain Call is just a good top end. We're playing a lot of guys that we just want to keep alive. We want to keep our Katras alive, our Lumens, Severin's super helpful. Basically everything is helpful. And these big lifesteal swings can be all it takes to keep you alive long enough to either combo out or pull off some shenanigans or get really far ahead. It's also hilarious to Curtain Call when you have Katra in play because you just gain a ton of life. Which will then buff your team even more ridiculously. So pretty sweet. Since we are splashing for both Primal and we were playing Shadow, this does give us access to Severin, which is pretty solid. Pretty decent pledge guy, able to smooth out some of our draws because we can just use them for power early on. And then this also gives us access to 8 Silexes, which is so beneficial for later on in the game because you can just start ripping Silexes and playing treasures and replacing cards, or giving you options of you can create a treasure for free and then market it away. So that is this list. It's pretty sweet. If you find it interesting, drop a subscribe and a like, and thanks for watching.